there. We also talk about your digital footprint, so the data that you leave, the traces that you leave, also is part of digital security and safety issues.
Now, the theme highlights the role of innovative technology in promoting gender equality and meeting the health and developmental needs of women and girls. Perhaps you can elaborate more on this and how it factors into the digital space.
Yeah, sadly, Nina, when the internet came about, we were also delighted because of the, plethora of opportunities that we have. However, we've realized that the structures that we have in the physical world is also very much available on internet and the digital spaces. So what we've seen is that women are more prone to violence against them online than, for example, our counterparts, male counterparts. So this has also led to the increase of, say, like you said, harassment, but also cyberbullying, cyber stalking, cyber grooming, image-based abuse, defamation of character. All of those harms are perpetrated more often against women than they are against our male counterparts. And when we talk about, our rights to dignity, our rights to freedom of expression, we found that that is stifled online when it comes to you being a woman. And many times people have used sort of attacks against you to censor women on issues that are important and issues where women should have a voice. So what we are saying, if we want women to be mentally healthy, if we want women to contribute to development as a whole, we should have gender equality even in the digital spaces, and we are not seeing that. And it's not just Namibia, it is a global phenomenon, and many organizations are working towards equipping women and also men to make those spaces available for women to take up those spaces, for women to have voices and be safe online without having to take extra measures beyond what men are doing.
One of the aims of your organization is to teach people how to be, safe on the internet and avoid these pitfalls. Briefly talk to us on this.
Janina, so we actually do media and information literacy, which is overall equipping and empowering citizens to be able to utilize the opportunities through media, through access to information, for example, to contribute to national dialogue and realize their right to freedom of expression through creating quality content, but also to look at things like verification of information. So we know that online especially, we have a lot of contributors, content creators that haven't been trained journalistic principles, for example. So there's a lot of fake news, false news, myths and disinformation out there. And we train young people, especially here in Namibia, to look out for those and to be able to discern what is truth from what is false as one of the ways to navigate safely online and not get into phishing scams and all of those other pitfalls that's available there. So DW Academy works with MILI, which is the Media Institute of Information Literacy Learning Initiative, which is based at Karatura. They're also a partner of the College of the Arts, the KCAC campus, and that's where all the training is taking place. MILI does afford the opportunity for rural young people to participate in this training, where they are then trained on traditional as well as new media. So some of the topics that they deal with is, for example, be digital, be safe. They talk about fight the fake information. They talk about hate and radicalization. We've seen in Namibia that there's been an increase in online hate speech, for example. And so it's very, very important to equip especially the young people, especially the rural youth who have access to the internet, to be safe on these platforms and on the World Wide Web as they navigate through it and look for opportunities.
Let's quickly look at the digital gaps that exist pertaining to gender, Lizette, and the importance of education and the urgency to combat, online harassment of women and girls.
Yeah, so the Internet Society, Nina, did a study in 2021, sort of a country assessment of the state of women online, and found in the 71 respondents that they spoke to that at least 60% of them had experienced violence perpetrated by men, and another 30% had experienced violence perpetrated by women. So, and when we talk about these violences, we talk about a wide range. So body shaming really tops the list, as well as cyberbullying, hate speech, like we said, the revenge porn or image-based abuse. So there's a variety of online hate and online abuse that happens against women here in Namibia. Unfortunately, we don't have enough statistics yet, and we don't monitor the situation. But if we highlight a few cases, we know that our First Lady, as well as another celebrity, have taken people to court because of what they had said on social media. So that was under defamation of character laws. We know also previously that a Miss Namibia runner-up contestant was brutally abused when she entered the campaign and appeared on social media as the top 30. We know that the current Deputy Minister of Information, Communication and Technology, Emma Tufelis, had also succumbed to online abuse in the past. And so these incidences at the moment seems to be erratic or sporadic, but at the same time, these are only the elitist women that we know and read about. The average woman that uses the internet, that uses social media, we don't always get to the media, and so those cases go unreported, or what we see is under-reporting of online violence against women. And this is one of the challenges that should be tackled in the future, so that we know what the current trends are, and we also know that, for example, school children are affected by this, so particularly cyberbullying, as well as the revenge porn or image-based abuse, where sexual explicit content of under 18s are actually made available, particularly via WhatsApp, which later end up on other social media platforms as well. So there's cases reported. However, we don't have enough statistics to actually detail how prevalent the problem is in Namibia. Talking to some women, 40 women today, this morning, at a breakfast, most of them had faced online violence. So it gives us the indication that there is a lot going on with regards to violence against women. However, it's not being recorded.
Lizette, as women, what can we do to make, our presence, online presence, more safer?
Right. It is always an individual responsibility for online safety. So there's a couple of things. You can look at your device security settings, first of all, and your security on, for example, on social media platforms. Two-step authentication is the best way to go, which means that once you sign up to a platform, you submit your mobile number and they will text you a code when somebody logs in on your account. So meaning you get a code that you have to enter to be able to enter the platform. That two-step authentication really protects you from identity theft or hacking of your social media accounts, which we've seen a lot in Namibia as well. And be cautious about what we share online. For example, your personal information, your mobile number, your email address, your home address. A lot of people check in at home and then they use Google Maps to pin right where they are. So these are some of the sort of risky behaviors that you can avoid by, for example, once you've attended the event, check in after you've left. So that way nobody can go look and harm you at that place, for example. And then there's a few other things that you can do on your platform and look at those privacy settings. So does all of your information need to be public, meaning anybody who searches you on Google will find you on social media? Or can you set your settings to friends only, or maybe even more private than that, selected friends only for some of the content? Because I think we tend to just leave our settings on default, and that is a big challenge because anybody in the world can access your information at any time. And if you have a little bit more control over who sees what, then it means that you take back some of your power, and chances are that you can stay safer, whether it's online or whether it's offline as well. What we also advise people, once you get cyberbullied or attacked, really instantly report the account to the platform and delete and block the person. But at the same time, if it's really, really severe, you can also go to the police station. So there is certain stuff that happens, like the defamation of character, that there's a law for. that can protect you against that. So there's criminal charges that you can lay. So, for example, if somebody threatens you with your life online, and you can go make a case against that person offline, or at least inform the police. I've had an incident where I was threatened online. I screenshotted it. I sent it to city police, and there was a caution. The person was cautioned that the police is aware and that they may not do that again. So there are certain steps that you can take both online as well as offline to protect yourself. And I think it's in all of our interest to be safer generally online. Also, another thing where data is concerned, perhaps is if people just look at the terms and conditions that they sign up to, especially for applications that they use on social media. For example, the 10-year younger or 10-year older app that everybody was using some time ago, where you upload a photo and it makes you older or younger, that app actually have access to all your photographs. So we need to read the terms and conditions that we sign up to online, as well as to make sure that when we enter websites that we only allow certain cookies. So again, not the default setting, but rather look at what cookies are being tracked. So this is the data that websites capture of you. So your mobile phone location, all of these things, they can capture and save online and store online. And you need to know what you are giving away. Again, power back to the consumer.
Lizette, I've certainly learned a lot this evening. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Nina.
When we come back, we take a further look at International Women's Day. Stay with us.